Okay, here it is, finished. American Flyer mid-1930s, City of Denver Streamliner. I bought this a few weeks ago off of eBay untested. It needed a lot of work, but for a locomotive and set that is almost 90 years old, I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. The goal with this was not to strip it down and make it cosmetically and mechanically perfect. It was to get it as mechanically perfect as I can while preserving 90 years of patina. So the motor came apart. I will have a whole video about working on the motor, but the wheels come off. The plates got separated. The armature got replaced. The brushes got replaced. The bushings for the wheels got replaced. The wires got replaced. The reverse unit got rebuilt and oiled and adjusted so that it reverses the way it's supposed to. And then the wheels got repainted because they were pretty bad. So the motor runs like it should. On the rest of the locomotive, the goal was to preserve the paint I had, and in some cases, that meant doing a little bit of touch-up. So the raised sections on the cast locomotive shell, those got touched up. A couple places, like around the windows, where the paint was loose and starting to flake, was a little bit around the light as well. I got some paint underneath to kind of help re-stick that original paint back down. But I left it chipped up. The vestibules. On a Lionel, there's one vestibule on 4 wheels. On this, it has independent trucks, and then the 2 vestibules connect together. So there's a little lever that lifts. The locomotive lever lock had a spring on the bottom. It sticks down all the way underneath. To get that off, you actually have to take a Dremel and grind it. They flatten the end, and when you grind it, you can pull that out and then take the vestibule off and make the repairs that need to be repaired. The little tabs on both ends that stick out on the trucks, a lot of those were bent. Those got worked on. The wheels got taken out of the trucks. The axles get polished on a wire wheel. The wheels get cleaned. Everything gets put back together. Couple of the axles were bent. Those got straightened out. One set of wheels was missing. I replaced it with some Lionel Prewar wheels. The axle was a little bit bigger, so I had to take the journals off, enlarge the hole a little bit, but the Lionel wheels were the same diameter. On the American Flyers, this is a decal down the side. The decal was starting to do the same thing as some of the paint. It flaked. So there's a black line. I used just some gloss tester enamel, touched it up. Brown, I used brown tester enamel, was really close, just to kind of help kind of glue that decal back down. I worked it underneath the flaking. The wiring inside got replaced. The middle car was originally a whistle car. The whistle's gone. I thought about putting a Lionel whistle in, but it was really big and bulky. And then the only thing that lit up was the observation car. So I actually made a light base to go inside and ran a Lionel teardrop base from one of the lamp posts on that. And then I used the same on the observation car. Everything came apart. Everything got a soap and water bath. There was so much dust and just grime in these cars. Like I said, the wiring got replaced. The worst paint inside the back of the observation, both the floor and underneath the floor, and then the middle of this car was just coming up in big chunks. So I ended up repainting most of the floor and then in the back just to kind of hold down the paint and not let it keep going. Coolest thing about this American Flyer is how they hook together. So you have this little lock, but both of these swivel when they lock together. What's really cool is the only contact is on the observation car. So the observation car on the back just has one contact. That runs the lights in both cars. So normal truck, contact truck. There is a little insulated contact in this vestibule. So there's a slot here, and a contact On the opposite car, there is a tab, a lock, and a contact. So those contacts will actually touch, and the cars not only hook onto each other, but they also get locked in with that bar on top. And then when they lock back together, you have that electrical connection between the two, and that contact on the track wire runs all the way up and powers. The back of the locomotive, this side had a contact, this side does not. So your power comes off that rear observation car. All right, let's give it a whirl. My nicest surprise was in the back. The original light bulb still worked. So the original light bulb's still in. So what is so cool? 90 years old, almost. Runs beautifully. Still looks amazing. Cool patina. And hopefully on the rails for many, many more years to come. Very happy that it's found its way to my house, where I could give it some love, get it rolling again. So American Flyer, pre-war, mid-1930s, city of Denver.